Hey everyone, Stock Picks by Tim here, and I've got 5 stocks that I think are a strong buy, and I sprinkled in a couple of bonus stocks as well for you. Now first off, we've got Indi Semiconductor. I think this is a great semiconductor stock to own, and you'll notice from a technical level, I haven't touched these since the last time I talked about this, but you'll notice from a technical level that we are trying to hold this 770, 775 level as a support. We did break it, but it was a quick double bottom. I think anything near this level is great. I honestly think anything under 10 for Indi long term is a great time to get in. And looking at it though, for the short term, we are looking at an $8 resistance. Every time we come towards that $8 resistance, we just can't quite hold it. We double topped here. We tried again to break and we couldn't break out. So keep an eye on that 8. Once we break out from 8, we will likely see some higher levels. But I do think under 10 overall, Indi is a solid average in. And if you don't know, Indi does supply their chips to some of the top leading auto manufacturers such as Tesla, Mercedes, Ford, Chevy. I mean, they've got domestics, they've got imports, they've got a little bit of everything. And that's great to see a nice well-rounded group of companies that purchase their chips. And I can't stress enough how important a great executive team is, and Indi has a fantastic team that I think is hard to beat. Now, when you look at the green circles here, that designates that they've been together for more than 20 years. So 4 of the executives have actually been together for more than 20 years, and they ran Axiom before this was purchased by Skyworks Solutions. And you'll see here that Donald McClymont, the CEO on the left here, was actually a part of Skyworks, as well as Tom Schiller on the right here. So they likely inked a deal together with Axiom, made it happen. Now this was almost 10 years ago now, but you look at this and Skyworks is actually $22 billion market cap. So I think it's a good sign to see that the executive team from Indi successfully sold, but it is nice to see that the executive team from Indi was involved in inking this deal for Skyworks, and the success of Axiom is linked to this executive team. Now, I'm not saying that Indi's going to be acquired by anybody, and honestly, that isn't my hope or expectation. But to me, it provides a bit more certainty, knowing that these executives know what they're doing, seeing that a company as big as Skyworks would purchase their company Axiom. Now, next up, I want to get into immersion or immr. I think this is a fantastic one to own. And honestly, we hit this low $4 level. I think anything under 5 is just a ridiculous price, and this company is profitable. But sometimes it does flip in between profitable and not profitable, so just be aware of that. Now, their revenue is kind of all over the place, but the general trend is upwards in increasing revenue, so that's good. I do think immersion is a solid stock to own, but the MACD is starting to look a bit bearish, and the candles aren't able to hold the 21, 8, or 13-day EMA, so we may come down and test these lower levels. I see it as a buying opportunity. And immersion is sitting here at a $176 million market cap with a PE ratio of only 13. Now next up, another metaverse stock for you, Matterport. I think this is another solid one, and the ticker on this is MTTR. Now first off, I want to show you here that the metaverse market is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 45% through 2024 up to 2030. So 105,000 million, you're talking about $105 billion by 2030 expected according to this study, and I will leave you guys the link below if you want to read through it. Now hopping over to the chart, I am actually a bit surprised this broke $10 honestly, and I see it as a great time to average in, and I have actually been just averaging in through their expiration lockup and through their warrant redemption and also through their earnings. So I've just been continuing to average through, and I'm glad that I didn't just go all in up here. I'm glad that I averaged through, and I still am not built out yet, so I'm still happy to continue to average through at this low price. And I think long term this is a great metaverse play because the metaverse needs digital images. Now hopping back to this article, I just wanted to mention this part here. The global metaverse market is expected to witness substantial growth during the forecast period due to the increasing focus on converging digital and physical worlds using the internet and rising traction and popularity of mixed reality. I think Matterport will lead this technology. And zooming in, we were recently on a nice little uptrend, finally breaking this downtrend. We did break this ascending channel, so we'll see where we go from here, but I think it's a great time to average in, and I will continue to do so. Next up is CleanSpark. Of course, I can't do a 5 stocks to buy now without mentioning CleanSpark, but keep an eye on their Facebook because they are going to give an update in terms of their mining, and typically this happens on the 3rd, so anytime today, maybe they're late and it comes out tomorrow, but keep an eye out for that. It's going to give us some crucial information of their progress on mining, and we'll see if they're more than 10 Bitcoin per day mined, but keep an eye out for that. And looking at the chart, we have been breaking higher highs and higher lows. So keep an eye on CleanSpark. I think it's a great time to average in, and I will continue to average in while it's under 15. And over this year, I do expect by the end of the year to see at the very least $20. But this kind of does depend on where Bitcoin goes. But once Bitcoin starts running, you better believe clsk is going to start running as well. Now next up is ChargePoint, and I've also got a bonus for you in a second here. But you'll see the technical wise, the MACD is still looking bullish. The RSI is starting to peter out, starting to curl down. And looking at the chart, we weren't able to break this 1542. We got very close, couldn't hold, and we're starting to come back down. But keep an eye out for this one. They just released their earnings. They actually have 80 million in revenue, which is just fantastic. They gave a little bit of information about their expansion into Europe. Right now, their revenue is a mix of 10%, I believe, from Europe and the rest from North America, but they are the market leader currently. And they've been increasing chargers available, and I think they will continue this trend of being the biggest charging company out there. And I think long-term ChargePoint is going to be a great one to own. And this is one of my highest conviction stocks. Now, as for a quick bonus, Vlta, we are right here at this $4 level. We'll see if we hold it. I think it's a pretty decent level to buy at. Now, as a bonus stock, Vlta, I think this is a great one to own. And right now, we're only at $4. We were trying to uptrend after this large downtrend with slight pops along the way. Now, we finally did break this downtrend, started running back up, getting that positive momentum, only to get stopped out here right at about 560, start coming back down, and now we're retesting this $4 level. I think it's a great time to get into Vlta. And this is my second favorite charging play. And finally, Pltr. Now looking at the RSI is pretty neutral. The MACD is curling down, so we may find some lower levels soon. And the candles just aren't able to hold over the 21, 13, and 8-day EMA. So we are still bearish. We are in a slight uptrend. We've been trying to trend up, and then it just starts breaking down. Trend up, then break down. Look for this to hold $10. I think we're going to come and test $10. And if we can break from $10, I think our downside is pretty much priced in. So look for that $10 level. I honestly don't think we're going to come down under 10 much. We did break 10 and came down to about 963, only to quickly get bought up again. But I think it's a great time to average in. And one thing to be aware of, though, is Pltr is not quite profitable yet, but they are making progress. And I'd expect to see profitability by about 2023, at the latest 2024. But that's basically it for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and tune in next time.